With Meghan Markle desperately trying to find any kind of avenue to save her time in Hollywood, to save her time within the film industry, so far that is working to no avail. We know that multiple studios right now are turning their back against Meghan Markle, and for all valid reasons, by the way. They all know exactly what's going on over at Netflix between herself, Greg Peters, Ted Sarandos. By the way, those are the two CEOs of Netflix. There's been a lot of back and forth, things happening between those three, with, of course, the reshoots for With Love Meghan Season 2, and a whole lot more than that. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new, and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. Now, one thing about Meghan Markle right now is that we already know that there's a lot of things going on between herself and the Walt Disney Company, and the latest has a lot to do between herself and CEO Bob Iger. Now, one thing about Bob Iger is that we all know that he's trying to really prop himself up as a proper CEO before he steps down in 2026. So far, that has not been working well for him. Everything ranging from all of the Marvel flops to the Star Wars issues and even all of the Walt Disney animated material that are just not working in his favor, such as the box office failure of Elio, a new Pixar movie that just did not work at all at the box office. But focusing here on Meghan Markle and exactly what happened between herself and the Disney company, you guys may recall as we discussed this, we talked about how she was indeed blacklisted by Disney, especially after they learned about her pregnancy viral video. However, after that, there's been a lot of things going on. Now, what's happened to this? Now, with Meghan Markle desperately attempting to stay within the film industry regardless of all the drama happening over at Netflix, one significant development going on now involves more to do with Meghan Markle banned, of course, and how that is actually happening over the course of multiple weeks that took place at the Walt Disney Company after her falling out with Disney CEO Bob Iger and the board after they decided to blacklist her from any movie or television series production after they witnessed her viral video on Instagram. However, one very revealing aspect of the negotiations that took place prior to her blacklisting is that Meghan Markle was given full access by Bob Iger and the board to visit the sets of all Marvel movie productions and even Star Wars productions and whatever live-action remakes or animated projects were being worked on. Now, Iger recently made a very sudden move by putting a complete ban on Meghan Markle from visiting the sets of those movies and television shows. This is all happening as a delayed reaction after she got blacklisted by Disney for both posting the pregnancy video and also for making some over-the-top heavy demands for her payout for a National Geographic project on Disney+. There were indeed arrangements made by, of course, Disney already where Markle was going to be able to visit the sets of the Mandalorian and Grogu movie during the month of July, and also an exclusive behind-the-scenes look of Avengers Doomsday, just for starters. She was also given the privilege to spectate the editing of multiple animated projects by Pixar in the works. All of those privileges, by the way, were actually recently just stripped away, and a decision that was made by both Bob Iger and the board. Now, it turns out that Iger does hold very close contacts within Netflix, and after learning about all the issues happening within the reshoots, he decided to take away Meghan Markle's privileges from visiting the sets of their films and TV shows. Now, Markle, get this, was furious to say the least, and left confused, and was said to be acting very emotional via her team. This comes as Iger is trying to prevent any further backlash for the Disney company, whether it's drama seen in the public eye or heard from behind the scenes. It turns out that Iger was going to use Meghan Markle as a voice or as a mouthpiece to promote enthusiasm for Star Wars, Marvel, and Disney projects after she viewed the productions behind the scenes. Already, Disney is now looking for another personality to do the same exact thing, one that is far more famous than Meghan Markle, to talk about their productions and boost buzz and word of mouth. Now guys, let me say one thing. It's one thing for Disney to invite Meghan Markle on the sets of these projects to create word of mouth or buzz, to actually improve enthusiasm for those projects. It's another thing, after banning her, to look for another personality to do the same exact thing, right? And I think it just goes to show you that they do have a lack of confidence when it comes to a lot of things, Marvel, Star Wars, and just Disney related in general. That's exactly why Bob Iger is in pure panic mode over the Ironheart series, over multiple other projects out there, by the way. One thing I will say about Meghan Markle is that I don't know why she tried to get a connection with Disney in the first place, but I think it just goes to show you that she stooped down so low to the point that she thought that even Disney would support her and all of her nonsense, and even they turned their back against her. That's how desperate Disney truly is. They don't even want to affiliate themselves with someone like Meghan Markle anymore at all. And they were about to give her a major contract deal. We talked about this about 2 weeks ago, where she was going to have a major narrating contract with National Geographic on Disney+. In case you guys did not know, Disney does indeed own National Geographic, and that is a part of Disney+ on the streaming platform. Now, continuing on, everything that, of course, got worse from that point forward, also after Meghan Markle had a very serious meeting with Disney, and even complained about Iger delivering her false promises to visit the sets of those projects. Iger informed her that this is working in conjunction with her blacklisting from the entire company, and is best described as the second phase of banning Markle from multiple privileges that were handed to her by the Disney executives that is now effective immediately. And again, I mean, let that sink in for a moment. First, she was blacklisted because of her actions. Second, now she was banned from her privileges from the Walt Disney Company. She can no longer visit the sets of those projects or even get behind-the-scenes exclusive access to anything that's in the making. And I think at the end of the day, Meghan Markle, for sure, she probably felt very much, thrilled or excited, or felt like she was, all of that, or very important when she was given that privilege by Disney. And once that was taken away from her, that's exactly why she's acting very erratic right now, acting very emotional, because this is something that she thought would never happen. She actually thought that Disney would never ever shift away from herself, and they did. Alright, that's exactly how desperate Disney is right now. They are trying to really improve their image after all the failures, after all of the losses over the years. We know that they've been dealing with a lot of box office failures, a lot of ratings disasters across the board throughout the 2020s especially, and they're trying to really patch things up. And look, I'm not rooting for Bob Iger by any means. I don't think he's a good CEO, but this is a very good step in the right direction to at least show that you're making some level of effort to kind of hold on to whatever image is left of the Disney company. And there's not much there to begin with at all anyway. But overall, like I've said before in the past, I think that Meghan Markle is really reaching at this point. She's very desperate. She doesn't know what she's doing anymore. She's really getting very desperate at this point. She doesn't know exactly where to go in the film industry at this point at all. And there's a lot of things going on over there. But overall, I think that at the end of the day, she's going to try and try again to land any role at any studio out there. Overall, I would like to hear what everyone has to say about all of this below in the comments. Anything ranging from her to the conjunction, of course, with Disney and everything else in between. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I'll catch you guys later.